Do you know the signs of a narcissistic mother? Today we're diving into the complex world of narcissism, a trait more prevalent in our society than we may realize. It's crucial to recognize the signs, not to cast blame on mothers, but to understand behaviors that can impact children's mental health. This knowledge can lead to healing, growth, and perhaps even a reshaping of family dynamics. So, let's take a journey of understanding and compassion together. Join us as we delve into the 5 signs of a narcissistic mother. Firstly, a key sign of a narcissistic mother is a lack of empathy. Empathy, in its simplest form, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's a core component of emotional intelligence and a fundamental aspect of human connection. However, a narcissistic mother might often disregard this essential aspect of parenthood. They may seem indifferent or dismissive towards their children's feelings, needs, and experiences. For instance, if a child comes home upset about a poor grade, a mother with strong empathy would comfort and reassure them. But a narcissistic mother might belittle their child's feelings, perhaps even using the situation to boost her own ego, saying something like, "Well, I never had problems with that subject in school." This lack of empathy can also manifest through a constant focus on their own needs and emotions, often at the expense of their children's well-being. In essence, a narcissistic mother may fail to empathize with their child's emotions and experiences. The second sign to watch for is manipulation. Manipulation can take many forms, and it's a typical tool in the narcissistic mother's arsenal. One of the most common tactics is guilt tripping. She may use emotional coercion to make you feel guilty for your actions, even when you've done nothing wrong. Another method is gaslighting, a psychological manipulation technique where the mother causes the child to question their own memory, perception, or sanity. She might twist facts, deny reality, or create her own version of events to confuse you. Shifting blame is also a frequent strategy. In this scenario, the narcissistic mother never takes responsibility for her actions and always finds someone else to blame. This constant shifting of blame can create a toxic environment where the child feels perpetually at fault. These manipulative behaviors are complex and damaging, often leaving deep emotional scars. So manipulation forms a key part of a narcissistic mother's behavior. The third sign of a narcissistic mother is an excessive need for control and dominance. This often manifests as a relentless pursuit to dictate the lives of their children, making decisions on their behalf, and even attempting to control their thoughts and feelings. It's as if these mothers believe they own their children, treating them like extensions of themselves rather than distinct individuals with their own desires and needs. This incessant need for control can severely impact a child's sense of independence and self-esteem. It can create a feeling of being trapped, unable to express oneself freely or make personal choices without fear of disapproval or punishment. Children may grow to doubt their own abilities, leading to a lack of confidence and self-worth that can persist into adulthood. In summary, an overwhelming need for control and dominance is a clear sign of a narcissistic mother. This behavior is more than just overprotectiveness or concern, it's a deliberate strategy to maintain power and control. The fourth sign to be aware of is either neglect or overattention. A narcissistic mother may swing between these two extremes, both of which are detrimental to a child's development. On one hand, neglect can manifest as a lack of interest or indifference towards the child's needs, feelings, or experiences. This could lead to the child feeling unimportant or invisible, ultimately damaging their self-esteem and sense of self-worth. On the other hand, overattention, or smothering, is not about genuine care or concern. Rather, it's about control and possession. The child becomes an extension of the mother's identity, their achievements a reflection of her own. This can stifle the child's individuality and independence. It's important to remember that both neglect and overattention are about the mother's needs, not the child's. So neglect or overattention can be a sign of a narcissistic mother. The fifth and final sign of a narcissistic mother is an inability to accept criticism. This trait is a clear indication of a narcissistic personality. Often a mother with such a disposition will react negatively to any form of criticism, no matter how constructive or well-intended. She may dismiss it outright, belittle the source, or even turn it back on the child, twisting the narrative to make it seem as though the child is the one at fault. This behavior, while damaging in any relationship, is particularly harmful in a parent-child dynamic. It can lead to the child feeling invalidated, unheard, and ultimately, unimportant. It's as though their feelings and experiences are constantly being brushed aside, replaced by the mother's own perceptions and desires. This unwillingness to accept criticism, to acknowledge and address personal flaws, is an unfortunate hallmark of narcissism. In short, a narcissistic mother will often struggle to accept criticism. To recap, we've discussed 5 signs of a narcissistic mother. Firstly, we dove into the lack of empathy, a key hallmark of narcissism. Narcissistic mothers may struggle to connect with their children's feelings, creating a sense of emotional distance. Next, we discussed manipulation. This could manifest in various forms, from guilt-tripping to gaslighting, all designed to control or influence the child's behavior or emotions. Our third sign was control and dominance. Whether it's overbearing control over every aspect of the child's life, or subtler dominance tactics, this sign creates an unhealthy power dynamic in the mother-child relationship. We then explored the fourth sign, which could be either neglect or over-attention. Narcissistic mothers might neglect their child's needs if they interfere with their own, or they might smother their children with attention, often for their own validation, rather than the child's benefit. Lastly, we highlighted the inability to accept criticism. This sign is often seen in narcissistic mothers who perceive any form of criticism or disagreement as a personal attack. Each of these signs alone doesn't necessarily indicate a narcissistic mother, but a combination of them might. It's crucial to understand these signs not just for the sake of labeling, but for the child's mental health. These signs can help the child recognize the dynamics at play, seek professional help if needed, and develop coping strategies. Understanding these signs can help us better navigate relationships with narcissistic mothers and support those affected by them. Thank you for joining us in this important discussion.